Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the UPERFECT 17.3-inch portable Type-C monitor. Now, this is actually the largest portable monitor that I'll have shared on the channel. In fact, the largest I've ever touched. And I've reviewed other UPERFECT monitors, specifically their 15.5-inch QLED as well as 15.5-inch 4K panel, and both of those are really good in different ways. So this should be interesting. It retails for roughly $350 US, just arrived, and I expect good things because it does have its own built-in stand, something I really like on portable monitors. Brightness looks a little low at 220, but we'll see how it actually performs. When it comes to color accuracy, they're saying 100% sRGB, which will be very nice if that is the case. Again, this is full HD. 17.3-inch IPS panel, 16:9 aspect ratio, 800:1 contrast ratio, 60 hertz. It's just, the largest, again, that I've seen to date. So let's go ahead and get this thing out of the box and see what we're working with. Because I know there are a lot of you out there that probably have been waiting for a larger form factor when it comes to portable monitors. The average tends to be around 15.5 inches. I recently unboxed a 16-inch as well. That was the first time I saw one of those. I've seen 14-inch panels. Of course, 13.3 has been around for a while. Essentially all of the common sizes that you would find in laptops, which is what makes sense. Generally speaking, I mean, that's how we end up with all of these portable displays, is that they're designed, they're picked up from the manufacturers who make them for your mainstream laptops. So I don't know which manufacturer you would generally find this specific 17.3-inch panel on, but hopefully it's a quality product. So first thing we have here is a box that I'm assuming, okay, we've got a carry case. And by the way, UPERFECT is one of my preferred manufacturers because when it comes to quality, they do usually take it up a notch. This seems to be a faux leather. I mean, it could be real. Feels real, but I doubt it because most things like this are not real leather these days anymore. But you get a carry case, so that's not a bad thing, right? So at least you have somewhere to put it. And more importantly, what we're getting to now is the display itself. So a little bit of paperwork here, just telling you about connection mode, because it'll be interesting to see, with this being such a big panel, is there a way to actually get this, looks like I gotta do it from both sides, to get this to be functional without a power supply. Now, most of UPERFECT monitors that I've gotten in the past from them for review, they do require direct power. So I'm guessing this is going to be more of the same. I don't see a reason that this is somehow going to be the exception to the rule where we get away with not needing a power supply. I really think we're going to need one. But part of what I thought was cool about this 17-inch panel, which is a matte finish, by the way, for those of you that are wondering, and this is not touchscreen to my knowledge, is that the kickstand, I'm going to flip it over so you can actually see this, is just is essentially a bracket. Hopefully nothing happens to the display there. So I really like this design. It seems more practical, in my opinion, than the majority of what manufacturers tend to do. Let me go ahead and get all this stuff out of the way. I'm not going to neglect what's left, though, to share that with all of you. But as you can see right now, just having it on the desk, I mean, that's what I thought was cool about this, is that really you can achieve any angle you want with this, which I have to say, besides panel quality being one of the most important things when it comes to picking these, there are so many of these portable monitors on the market. The other thing is their ability to be used practically. And a stand like this, as soon as I saw it from a design perspective, I knew that this was a smart product compared to much of the competition. It actually goes flush. I'm not sure why you would need it to go flush, but you can basically achieve any angle, and it seems fairly tight. But again, with it not being touchscreen, you're not going to need to use that many different levels of the hinge. Let's see what else is in the box before I give you the quick look at what else is there. So we've got this box right here. I'm going to back the monitor up a little bit. And this I'm expecting to be power supply, cables. Yep. So a little bit of a different approach from UPERFECT's other monitors. These are generally, I mean, it's a very different approach because this is a much bigger device. So instructions, warranty guide, and then all the cables that you're going to need. So these are not listed, but you know, I can tell you what they are. There's a Type C to Type C, another Type C to Type C, that is an HDMI, and then last but not least, this is an HDMI adapter to, what does that, to HDMI. So this is a little strange, but I haven't looked at the actual device yet. We'll get there. The other box that's in here, the last one, we have to imagine is going to be power supply because, well, that's all that makes sense. That doesn't look like the right way to open it, so let's open it the right way. And I do like that this is a matte finish. It's interesting because UPERFECT's other monitors are not. I do wish, though, that this was touchscreen. I'll tell you that right now. So there's your power brick, which you are going to need. I mean, again, I haven't used it yet, but I can nearly guarantee that you will need this. Type C to the wall, and then, of course, Type C to the display itself. It's easy for me to assume that, as I've stated, because I've yet to encounter a UPERFECT portable monitor that doesn't require it. So now, let me get this box out of the way. Since it's literally been on my lap, this is a pretty large box. Whoop. And the box seems to be falling apart, but no worries. It must have gotten damaged in transit. Let's, as I roll through all the plastic, let's take a look at the actual build, which, by the way, is good. Like that it is such a modern finish, such a thin bezel, basically edge to edge, if you will, glass just about, which on most portable monitors, hit or miss whether or not you're going to get this sort of finish. And then when you look at the side, totally clean here, okay, totally, and totally clean. But that is because the stand is in a closed position. And by the way, the stand does have rubber feet. So what happens is, as soon as you open this up, that is what exposes all of the ports and controls. So right there, you can see we've got our headphone jack, a Type C, or no, that looks like a HDMI port. Yes, HDMI, as well as the menu toggle and power button. Then I'm going to flip it over, go to the other side, and that's where you find the balance of the ports. So we've got two Type C ports and yet another HDMI port. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works. As always, right now, I'm going to just connect. I've got a 65 watt, from my HP Type C power connector. Let's just plug it in and let's see what happens. Now, all of these should have passed through, so it really shouldn't matter. Power controls are on this side, so let's see if it powers on. It should. I see a green light right now. There we go. No signal. Still, let us into the menu, will you? What's the big deal? Let us take a look at the menu. So, a lot of these monitors do not let you get into the menu without having a source. So, that will be another video for another time, but again, this is, at least from what I just saw on power up, I didn't see any backlight bleed, which means that it should be a fairly solid panel. With their 4K panels, there is a little bit of bleed. So interesting already. And again, I really like this kickstand. I mean, this is arguably one of, in my opinion, the best. It's metal. It'll give you the viewing angle you desire. Now, when it comes to portrait, though, let me disconnect this. That's really the question, because, of course, all of these portable monitors are pitched at being usable in portrait. This guy, not so much. I mean, look, it's staying upright, but I don't really know how you can't rely on this for portrait, so forget about it. As much as I like this kickstand, portrait is a no-go, is what it appears to me. So I will test it out. See what quality is like, but I could see how this would be more of an appealing at-home little pandemic special because, or even for travel purposes. I mean, if you're on the road when that day comes, or even now if you are quote-unquote essential, God knows that definition is murky, not for some, but for a lot of other things, then this would be a great solution. But I do wish, as I said at the top of the video, that we had some touch input on this. Really like the matte finish. And then the rubber feet, you can see we've got them here as well as on the kickstand. I just think UPERFECT did a good job, at least with construction and design on this. Nothing is perfect, but this is looking like a winner, especially when I compare it at least to the majority of panels out there. And then the fact that it's larger than the majority, well, that's a selling point unto itself. So I will get it set up, I'll get it tested out, and I will likely end up doing just a master roundup video on all of the portable monitors, because if you're a subscriber, you know that I have a lot of these in studio, and they don't necessarily all deserve their own personal is not the right word, but dedicated reviews. I feel like people want to know which are worth buying and which are worth taking a pass on, and that's likely what I'm going to end up doing with all of them that I have in-house, because right now I've got Lipo, UPERFECT, Azai, I hope I remember all of them, Vissels, what else? I'm blanking. Lenovo, what else? There are more. There are a lot of different. I just got another one in, which I don't know how to pronounce the name of it, the 16-inch one. So just a lot of portable monitors out there, and we max it. I've had several. They make really good products. So I will eventually do a master portable monitor video to give everyone the ins and outs, which are going to be best for, not worrying about bringing a power supply, which are going to be best for picture quality, which are going to be best overall in build quality, all of those things, and ultimately which are the best, period, the end, especially for the price of admission. At $350, this is not inexpensive, but if you're looking for a 17.3-inch full HD matte finished panel that comes with what seems to be a leather case and a solid design when it comes to kickstand, this might be the one for you. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button, and as usual, please feel free to subscribe, and please stay safe. Later.